Hey, I'm Chris Parmer. I'm a co-founder of Plotly, the original author of Dash, and Plotly's Chief Product Officer. And I am so excited to show you what we've been building at Plotly over the last few months. Our technology enables you to build beautiful, production-grade data applications that connect directly to Python. Python has emerged as the de facto standard for doing data analytics and connecting to your data. And our customers are building incredible data applications in practically every industry, from doing financial portfolio optimization to energy trading to predictive analytics on equipment that's out in the field to bioinformatics for the next generation of pharmaceuticals. These data applications are written in code and they're written with Python, and so the possibilities of what you can do are practically endless. You can connect to practically any data source. You can run computations and models. You can trigger APIs or data pipelines. And what you can do in today's data applications go far above and beyond what is possible in today's BI landscape. Whereas a traditional BI dashboard can read data, today's data applications can actually run. They're running computations and models, triggering APIs or different data pipelines. And what we've done at Plotly is vastly simplify the process for creating these data applications. What we'll showcase to you today is App Studio, which is our latest product that makes it vastly simpler and easier to create a beautiful production-grade data application without giving up the flexibility and the control that you get by integrating directly in Python. We interviewed hundreds of our customers and community members over the last couple of years, and we asked them, what is it important that you have full control over? What they told us was that the data that comes out of the other end of a data pipeline is rarely perfect. It always needs just a little bit of Python glue to normalize the data, to connect a few different data sources together. And they wanted full control over this because this little bit of Python to normalize the data is essential for the quality of their applications, and it's often really tedious and difficult to do in a BI tool. Our customers also told us that it's not just about the data, but it's about the models and the computational analytics that they're running on top of that data. That's the statistics or the physics-based models, the numerical methods, the machine learning, the AI models. That computational layer that exists between the data and the user interface that is being used by users within the business and the rest of the organization. That middle layer is essential for them, and it's often where their competitive advantage is. They are hiring domain experts in their fields to build out these computational models in between the data in the user interface. They also told us that this form factor of the data application that exists in the web browser and that can be easily shared is essential. A lot of their work in their analytics teams, whether that's data science or some other domain-specific analytics, was often stuck within a Jupyter notebook or stuck behind a script or an API. And the ability to transform these analytics into an interactive, web-based data application was essential for getting the most ROI out of their analytics teams. These applications connect directly to the data and the models. They can be consumed by anybody else in the organization, which means that they can be embedded directly into that organization's processes and that organization's intelligence. Our customers also preferred tools that were open and not closed. And for them, that often meant working with code was a far more open approach than working within a walled garden of some other product. With open tools, they can use other tools available within the ecosystem for modularizing their code, for sharing it, for doing version control. Code-based analytics gives you a lot extra that other point-and-click based tools cannot provide to you. You get reusability. You can transform your analytics and data fetching code into modules and functions, then reuse them across different projects. You get automation. You can call those modules and functions within your application as many times as you want without needing to point and click through a user interface every time. We've all been there in working with a spreadsheet and Excel and having to recreate the same graphs and pivot tables over and over anytime the data changes. When we do analytics as code, all of that work is automated, which saves us a lot of time and brings us to another really important point, which is maintainability. These applications are really important. They're showcasing the data and the models, and big decisions are being made off of them. And so the quality of the applications, ensuring the quality of the data is really important. And with analytics as code, you can run tests on that data. You can easily version control the data and the code behind it and collaborate on it. And it's a far more maintainable approach than what's available today in today's BI landscape. And so our customers wanted full control over these areas, over the maintainability of the application, over the control of the code and the data, over the ability to run custom computations and models in between the user interface and the data itself. And the rest of the application building process, they could leave up to us. And so what you'll see with App Studio is a way that threads this needle between this sort of complexity and sophistication and, of course, simplicity. With App Studio, you still have full control over the analytics and the data code that you write. But App Studio helps you build the application itself. It can convert a notebook into an application itself, pulling out the graphs and the data frames and converting them into their web-based formats. It gives you a visual editor for arranging these elements on the page and crafting your data story. A visual editor for doing the theming and the templating, and a lot of great out-of-the-box defaults, from loading states to the positioning of the controls within the application to the default template itself. We've also come up with a few new programming paradigms that make it vastly simpler to create this application in the first place. Our new reactive scripting paradigm, that is the foundation of App Studio, enables you to convert a notebook and a script into its interactive counterpart as a data application with very little refactoring of your code. You can take these static parameters that might exist already in your notebook or in your script and convert them into dynamic controls by just changing a single line of code. And so what this means is that it's never been easier to create a data application, and you no longer need to be a specialist in a particular data app framework in order to build these applications. And with today's AI tools that are basically free and widely accessible to all, learning how to code and doing analytics as code has never been easier. And so we're seeing a whole new class of data analysts that are adopting the superpowers of code and are able to build the next generation of applications that go far above and beyond what's possible to create with BI dashboards or spreadsheets. App Studio exists directly within the Dash Enterprise platform, and you'll see some great demos of that today, which means it's as simple as logging into the platform and opening up a notebook, and then you'll have an application in practically no time. You no longer need to be a specialist in a data application framework. As long as you have an existing notebook or you're able to write a little bit of Python code, you can create a data application today. Within the platform itself, we give you everything else that you need to manage, deploy these applications. And there's a lot that goes into that. The login screens, the authorization controls, the secrets management, logging and debugging. All of these tools are available to you out of the box within the platform, and so you don't need to worry about it. Once you have the platform installed, and it runs behind your firewall, so you have full control over the data and the code, you can simply log in and start building and publishing these applications today. And because they're built within the web browser, anybody within your organization, that of course is probably behind your firewall, can access these applications, and these applications can then run important business processes and contribute to your organization's intelligence. So I'm so excited to showcase to you what we've been building at Plotly today, and I can't wait to see what you build next.